Welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Shed Scrapper. So today I am back with a 2-page layout using primarily the No Limits collection from Cocoa Vanilla Studios. A couple different brands were running through my mind. Nope, Cocoa Vanilla Studios. I am using up some scraps that I have and cutting them because I have lots of photos that I am including on this layout and wanted to make sure the strips of paper were at least, I'll say 4.5 inches wide. I knew that my photos were going to be 4 inches and I wanted them, a couple of them at least, to sit on these strips of paper. I am dovetailing the bottom of them to use kind of going across the page. So each one of those 3 will have its own photo on it. And then I am adding that kind of tealish, the bluish paper to each end of those flags, I guess, to make it look like that goes all the way across the page. So I am just going to line these up. Again, I kind of just grab scraps. I have lots of the collection still, but again, just want to use up what is already cut if it works. And so these 3 papers, and I guess the 4th paper was a piece of scrap as well, just worked well for me. So I tried to pick colors that kind of go well together. I kind of wish I would have maybe put the stars in the middle. I feel like maybe that would have kind of brought the colors all together. But it is what it is. I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 photos I'm scrapbooking on this layout, and really like the way it came together. I think the wood grain may be a little too dark, but the kids are in a tree, and so wood grain and that bright green paper just seemed to work well with my photos as well. So I am going to back them all, at least in white, to help pop them up off the page a little bit, bring the focus off the busy pattern papers and onto the photos. And you can see kind of how I plan on laying out the layout with all of the photos. Again, didn't really have any ideas on how to embellish, but one thing I've been doing about a year now, I guess, is I actually at the beginning of the month, or I guess at the end of a month, preparing for the next month, will actually sketch out some layouts and pick out the photos and sketch the layouts out, know kind of what papers I want to use as well. And so I had this sketched out. I usually will just do the base page. Sometimes I will have a good idea of where I want to embellish. This one, though, just kind of came together as the layout progressed, I guess. So I am going to commit to the placement of my photos. Did go into the title ephemera and find the No Limits, which I thought was great. They really have no fear climbing these trees. This was at my sister's old house. Every time we'd visit, they would just climb these trees. You could see he's hanging upside down. So I just thought that title was appropriate and liked how it fit under the photos on page 2. I am double backing and then popping up this photo on page 1. It sat on the busiest paper, and I wanted kind of the focus to be even more so on that photo, I guess. And so that's why I decided to double back that one and pop that one up on foam tape. I decided to go into my Scrap and Happy Studios stash and see what flares I had that might match. I knew I had some star flares, so that was perfect. And luckily, some of the colors matched as well. I just wanted to kind of spruce up the title. I didn't want to just lay it there. And so I did use one of the star flares kind of as a base, so to speak, for my title. And then I'm also going to pop that up on foam tape. I have this really thin foam tape I got off Amazon that I am loving. It's great for shaker pockets as well. And it's very, I guess, bendable. So like if you had something curvy or whatever, you would definitely be able to, instead of like cutting separate pieces, definitely kind of mold it to whatever you need, which is also nice. So once that's kind of popped up, that is going not to complete the title, but kind of give you a good idea of, you know, I guess the title and what it is going to look like. I think I do add maybe some more flares, or I have those wood buttons. There's kind of like a outer space theme with this collection, but there's also quite a bit of like the world, the earth. Because they're climbing trees and it's outdoors, I decided to use quite a few of those pieces in the on the layout. So there is that wood flare that I added to the title as well. That has the world on it. There's another piece of ephemera that is the world, and so you can see I'm kind of going through the ephemera pack, seeing what I think I might use. Obviously stars, because I used that star paper, I knew I would use quite a few of those, so kind of picking and choosing what I'm going to use, placing them where I think maybe I will use them. So I have the tag to the left, and really kind of like that for a cluster there. It fills in that extra space on that blue paper, kind of fills in maybe that grid look to page 1. Another world, I decided to use that globe, I guess. I'm going to add that to the top, try to use that as like the focus of that cluster. Have some flares, but they're canvas flares, and they are a little bit thicker than the epoxy flares that are those stars. And so I really wanted to use the canvas flare, but just too thick for layering like I wanted. And so I did add another star epoxy flare up to that earth at the top. So you have a good sense right now of where my clusters are. So it's the tag, the globe, my title, and then that banner that says "You are the best." A lot of times when I do a 2-page layout like this and the photos kind of go across the page, I will kind of do a down, up pattern in my embellishing. I've done a similar layout like this in the past as well, and I believe I did that sort of embellishing on that layout too. So just kind of a theme, I guess, I've noticed that I do when I do a 2-page layout like this. So popped that banner up on foam tape as well, just to allow some more layering behind it, and give the layout some dimension. So there are some stars. I found another flare from Scrap and Happy Studio that I included in the cluster on the far right. You can't see it right now. They're kind of arrows, but the colors matched really well. And then just using some of the stars from the ephemera pack and layering them, adding them, I guess, layering them into my embellishment clusters. I forgot I had the sticker sheet here and decided to kind of add to my title a little bit. Add a few things underneath the title there, just to kind of make that more of a cluster maybe, and a larger one at that to fill in some of that space. And again, just kind of adding bits and pieces here and there. I do get out these, I don't even know what, they're not really enameled dots, maybe puffy shapes, and sprinkle those kind of throughout the clusters as well. There are some circles, there's some stars, there's a few that look like planets again, but I didn't really go with that outer space theme, and so I kind of picked ones that weren't so much, you know, that theme, but just the circles or the stars. And again, just kind of scattered them throughout, maybe went a little crazy with them. But I have so few left. I think I kind of just wanted to use them up. I did end up adding Love You to the Moon and Back. I had one wood button left, one wood flare left, and I wanted to use it up. So I did add that to the globe at the top, and I do feel like it kind of finishes off that cluster at the top a little bit. Again, adding another little phrase sticker to the bottom left cluster, but that is going to finish off this layout. There's a good close-up of those puffy stars and those wood buttons, kind of all the puffy shapes, I guess. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I will look and see if this collection is available at a cherry on top, but it is at this point a little bit older, so I'm not sure if it will be or not. But if so, it'll be linked down below for you. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.